Hola, amigos, and welcome back to another episode of La Vida Verde podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Human. We're on location again this week at the Real World School in Ecovilla San Mateo. We're in the high school classroom to interview Noah Valansi. Noah is an amazing young man who I've known since he was 2 years old. I've watched him grow up, and he grew up in this community. We're going to talk about the different schools he's gone to, from Casa Sula to Real World School, his experience growing up in this community, and what his future holds. It's going to be a great conversation. We hope you enjoy. This episode of La Vida Verde podcast is brought to you by Guillaume Cellier Massage Therapy, offering pain-free relief at home, a most exclusive massage experience. Mention La Vida Verde podcast and receive 10% off your first treatment. This episode of La Vida Verde podcast is brought to you by the 4th annual Monkey Medicine New Year's Experience, happening December 31st, 2024 at the brand new Finca Vida Verde Amphitheater. Get your tickets at fincavitaverde.com. Noah Valansi, bienvenidos.
Muchas gracias.
Welcome to La Vida Verde podcast. This is exciting for me because you are our youngest ever guest of the podcast. How old are you?
I am 15.
And you are Marcelo's son.
That's correct.
We've had Marcelo on the podcast. Marcelo is the founder of the school, one of the founders of the school here, and then also Ecovilla San Mateo and with Ecovilla. So thank you for taking time. We're actually at your school.
Yes, thank you for the invitation.
You get to get out of school to come.
There we go.
And Noah and I have been playing volleyball like every Sunday. That's been really fun.
That's correct.
And we're both getting better. You especially. Your serves have been killing it. Okay, let's just start. You grew up in this community.
Yes.
This is why I wanted to have you on the podcast, because you are like fully steeped in the Ecovillage lifestyle that has been created here, and it's a whole kind of a new thing. It really still is evolving because it's still growing. What I just kind of in general, like, what was that like for you?
Well, at the beginning, when the Ecovillage started to get built, I was pretty young too. So
You were one.
I
Two?
was 2 years old.
2 years
But
old.
I do have many memories of watching huge trucks coming in with materials and building roads and
You saw the whole thing get
exactly. It was like kind of playing a video game in real life, watching how
built.
everything was getting built.
Oh, what a cool perspective to like see it all. Like, yeah, like interesting. Okay.
Totally. So, watching from how land without absolutely anything, then it just has roads, a rancho, a pool, then houses and people even. It's a great process to experience.
Yeah, and it's a weird question to ask because your perspective is this is all you know. Like, you don't know, maybe like you've probably heard or see on TV or whatever, like movies, like how people live outside of this world.
Yeah.
It's not always so cool. So it's like, this is why we've all been drawn here. So it's really special. I think it's cool. You and your brother also goes to this school.
Yes.
We're at the Real World School. This school used to be called Casa Sula.
Yeah,
Right.
correct.
What are three things you loved about growing up in community, and what are three things you didn't love about growing up in community?
So, growing in community has many, many, many advantages that are, for example, if anybody is going through a tough moment, all of the neighbors are always going to be there to support them.
Have you experienced that?
Yeah, a lot of times when people aren't feeling well or things like that, other persons bring food to your houses.
Right.
It's really, really beautiful.
You experienced it with your mother when she
Correct.
passed away. Your mom
Yeah.
passed away 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, 4 years ago.
2020.
And it was amazing because we were receiving food from all the neighbors. Out of nowhere, we had a person came to our house and built us a playground in our backyard, and
Aw,
it was
that's so
it was
cool.
really, really beautiful.
Made a hard time a little bit easier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always having community to support is beautiful. One of the non-advantages could maybe be not having that much of a privacy. That if something happens, it's more likely that everybody's gonna know. In the term of sense that, I don't know, you get in trouble about something, everybody will know. Or there's a party happening and you want to invite a specific people, everybody would know.
Yeah. So you can't like leave. You can't
Exactly.
intentionally not invite people, or else
That's
you're gonna have to
correct.
deal with hurting their feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. That's good. That's good. And do you see yourself like? I mean, you still got some time, but like you're 15, you're probably starting to think about the future. Like, do you see yourself like staying around here, or do you have a desire to like go somewhere else, or is there somewhere else you'd rather like kind of see yourself being?
I really, really like to travel, but I'm pretty sure that my destiny is always going to be Costa Rica. Um, the country's just amazing. It has everything you want:
Aw.
waves for surfing, nature, wildlife, absolutely everything, and it's just amazing.
I'm really happy that you can see that because, yeah, I've lived in a lot of different places and I also feel that. So it's like some people have to really go experience that to come back and understand that. And it's cool that you can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
What was it like going to Casa Sula? Like, what did you like? Did you like going to school, or was it like, did you feel like a chore?
So I went to Casa Sula from ages to 6 to 12, I think.
Right. And before Casa Sula was the way that they did it differently. They was like an unschool, right?
Exactly.
No curriculum.
So they did have not a traditional curriculum, exactly. It wasn't federated from the Costa Rica MEP, and it was a really different way of learning.
MEP is the educational program, so
Exactly.
it wasn't accredited. It was a non-accredited.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes. What they would do is basically have kids learn by their own interestings. So, for example, if I was interested on building, I don't know, a control remote car that could drive pretty fast, they would help me gain all the materials, all the knowledge that I would need to build it and have it done.
Did you do that?
Which I did a lot of times with many different projects. Like I built a ukulele when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
And a bunch of other
Did
things.
it play?
It played, yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
So you learned technical skills.
So technical skills,
Right.
many, but then when I started growing a little more and wanting to experience other things, like maybe going to a traditional school, I saw that my level was way out of it than what it should be.
What traditional school were you going to?
No, I didn't go to anyone,
Oh, you
but
were
my idea was maybe changing to Green Valley or something like that. That
Okay.
was
Right, that's up in Atenas. And that's
Exactly.
where a lot of the kids your age go to Green
after
Valley.
Sula. And actually, a lot of kids that were in Sula, after turning like 12, they went up to the other school and they did really
Did
good.
you have to stay here because your dad was one of the founders?
At the beginning, yes. And at the end, he gave me totally the option of
Cool.
saying you can do whatever you want. But then when I realized what my level was, I said, like, at least I need to stay a year in another program to see how I can get it
Aw.
up.
Like it was like you were almost like afraid to like go.
Kind of,
Oh.
yeah. But then
That's sad.
I started at real world school and I realized the amount of amazing things that they started doing with all of the teachers, all of the things that we're doing at Ninja Warrior, for example. It's one of my favorite subjects around. It's
The Ninja Warrior class.
the Ninja Warrior class.
You have a whole class on Ninja Warrior.
there's
What is
a
that?
whole
Tell us
class.
about what is Ninja Warrior class.
So Ninja Warrior is it's a course of obstacles that it's really famous actually in television. If you search around, you'll
Yeah,
see.
we've probably people have seen like
Exactly.
It's like a course.
And here they did a mini course with bars and obstacles and balance and all of those type of things that every 2 weeks on Fridays we do a Ninja Warrior competition, which is all the grades from all the schools compete and whoever does the best time and completes the whole obstacle gets to the top best 3, which is really fun.
Okay.
Um,
And you're one of the top in the school, probably.
yeah.
I
Um,
mean, are you the biggest kid here,
no,
like
right
size
now
wise?
it's Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dallas is shot up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Dallas. You had it all on lockdown, and then Dallas like shot up 2 feet like in the last summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So maybe we'll go check out the Ninja Warrior course.
for sure.
Okay. So what happened when Sula became real world school? Like, what changed? Like, do you feel like
So,
it's improved, or you feel like it's just
yeah,
different, or
totally. At the beginning, the real world school, when it started, it still had the old teachers that it had before, and all of them still had the mentality of
mentality? Yeah.
mentality of
Yeah.
Sula, exactly. And then Simon joined, and it was a totally different perspective. It was like a whole different thing.
Simon's the
Um,
director of the real world
that's
school.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
He started changing everything. He started putting a lot of effort inside the school, and like you could see the effects that it gave. So
Right, and it's interesting because what kind of then happened was Journey School, which we've had Christina Rodriguez on the podcast. She was the founder. She talked all about Journey, but then they kind of what you guys merged, I guess. They merged
exactly,
the schools, so now it's all under one roof, and it's
exactly,
not two separate schools.
which
It's
is
just
amazing because it's not competing between two different schools in such a small environment, like
yeah.
two communities. You know.
And in Sula, you were saying like a lot of the older kids would leave. You probably didn't have did you have a lot of people, kids your age, or?
My age, no, actually, I was the oldest kid in the school,
Mhm.
and then when I started seeing that kids from Journey arrived, from high school was really, really amazing.
Oh,
Like,
good.
getting,
Now you feel like you're not
yes,
alone
getting
anymore.
to share with other people was the only thing that I hated the most, and it came back.
All right. After Ninja Warrior, what's your favorite subject here? Like actual, like
To learn,
yeah.
I really started to like math lately.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, I was terrible at math. I couldn't do anything at math. And lately, it's going a little better. I love science also. Really, really fun. English, it's all right. Then Spanish is pretty fun because, well,
Because you're fluent
'cause I'm
and you don't have to
fluent,
do
exactly.
anything, just talk all day.
So yeah, it's math. It's probably my
Math.
favorite one for now.
Do you have an idea of like, I mean, you got a few years, but like after school, like what your plans are? Like, do you want to go to a university? Is there something you want to study, or?
That's something I haven't thought about yet. But if the day of tomorrow you tell me you got to go to university, I would probably study architecture or something like that. So
Cool.
I love to travel, as I said before. So
Where do you
if-
want to go?
Everywhere.
No, we're top 3. Like, I'm going
Top
here,
3.
here.
I would love to go to Japan. I would love to do van life in Australia, and
Nice.
yeah, and also in the U.S.
Huh. Where
Yeah.
Have you been to the U.S.?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Colorado, Alaska. I did the Brad.
Oh, you went with Brad?
Yeah, it was
Oh, I've never
amazing.
been to Brad. I want to go to Alaska.
That was crazy.
Sounds fun.
It's
How old
another
were you when you
experience.
did that?
It was right in pandemic when the airports opened. That was the first trip we did. So I was probably like,
Oh, wow. Oh, like
13
4 years
maybe.
ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What was your favorite thing to do, like when because we're in a pretty isolated community. There's not a whole lot to do here. This is one of the criticisms people say, but actually, if you're into nature, there's actually quite a bit to do.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like you were bored? Did you ever like what were your things that you liked to do when you were younger, and then kind of like where are your interests at now?
Yeah. Well, one of the problems would be more like the social part. What helped me a lot to get it was starting with sports. I used to do swimming, in a tennis. Um,
Like competitive swimming?
competitive swimming,
Uh-huh.
exactly. And there's also 2 big towns around the community that parties happen a lot and everything. So
Oh, I don't know about these parties. It's because I'm too old.
so
I don't know.
yeah, no, it's
What are the parties like here?
parties.
Tell me about a
depending-
typical
depending-
teen party here.
Depending where. In Ecovilla, they're usually pretty
Mellow.
chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because the parents are all watching.
exactly. I told you, in community, there's no secret. That's it.
So the parties out in like Atenas are better.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So
Do you hang out a lot with kids in Atenas and Ortina? And
when I was in swimming, yes,
uh-huh.
it was like my social
Uh-huh.
place, and I loved it. I would go 4 times a week and hang out with people. It was the vibe right there. So yeah.
Okay. And now, what are you doing now?
Right now I really like practicing volleyball, beach
Yeah.
volleyball to be more precise. So,
Yeah. You played with the national. You trained with the national
I trained
Costa
with the
Rican
national
Olympic
Costa
team.
Rican national team. I don't know how I got in there, but yeah.
Well, we're blessed. We just did you know that court was there? Is this so
Never,
new to
no.
you too?
No, we just saw that huge blue building, and we were like, "What the hell is that?"
You've lived here for 13 years.
Exactly.
I've lived here for 17 years, and the entire time I've driven by that building, like there's this building we drive by it like almost every day.
Every day.
And it turns out that it's one of the best volleyball courts in the entire country, made for the national team to do rehearsals.
Yep.
And practice, and it's like right up the road. So we've been playing every Sunday. We do we have like a community volleyball, and then we've been playing competitive on Wednesday. Varsity.
Let's go.
Varsity. Surfing, you into surfing?
I love surfing, yes.
Weren't you gonna go surfing yesterday or today? No, Saturday.
I went Saturday, yeah.
How was it?
It was really fun, actually. I tested GoPro for the first time surfing.
Oh.
That was nice.
Did you get some good footage?
A good video, yeah. My favorite spots to surf in Costa Rica would probably be Hermosa. Hermosa is a really good wave to surf, but it can be huge.
Crazy wild there
sometimes.
sometimes.
Be wild sometimes.
Where did you learn?
I learned with my uncle. I don't know where exactly, but like I surfed since I was 6.
All right, your uncle
Matias
lives out in like Santa Teresa.
Exactly. I love surfing in Santa Teresa too. A cool place around here. It's not a big wave, but it's a really long wave, so it's really fun. It's called Boca Barranca. It's on the way to Punta Arenas, and
I've heard about that spot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, here's a good question. See, one of the things that I notice here is people are always coming and going. Like, I'm just curious, like, do you have any perspective on that? Like, how's that affected you? Like, have you enjoyed, like, because especially in La Covilla, you get a lot of renters, people that become family for a while and then they just go.
Totally.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a hard process because sometimes you make really good friends and have a great adventure with them, and I don't know, travel with them and everything, and then a month later you realize that they're leaving again. And it really depends with people. Like some people you say like, nah, there's no chance these people are gonna stay for longer than a week. Then they're here for years and you're like, whoa. And then when you think that somebody's actually gonna stay, they end up leaving. It's a process that community needs to go through, but I think that the people that actually connect with the vibe around, well, totally.
And what do you think about like how much it's expanded? I mean, you've been here since you've been here, like it's not you've been here almost as long as me. I mean, it was a little bit less, but like it was still really small when you first got here.
Yeah.
And now it's like exploding.
Yes.
What do you think?
I'm sure. Well, I think it's gonna be 10 times bigger than now. I'm coming with Alegría and Ecovilla San Mateo will be crazy.
I'm excited about it. What about you?
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think you'll come back here like after traveling?
Totally.
Yes. Yeah. What about you could go live in like Santa Teresa?
I would love to go live to Santa Teresa, but it's not a place.
You guys are doing what, Cabo Blanco?
Cabo Blanco too, but Santa Teresa is not a place that I would like to live. It's a place that I love to stay there for maybe a month.
Visit.
Exactly. It's the best place to visit. But after having the same life that you have in Santa Teresa too much,
you get bored of it.
You get bored of it, exactly.
Totally.
And my dream is to not live farther than a block away than my dad.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I get it. Well, I'm happy that you're going to stay in this community. And you have a new little brother.
Yeah, that's correct. He is 3 months now. He's adorable.
You like having a little brother? Well, you have one, but
I already have one, but this new one, it's a great experience.
Yeah, he's a baby. I mean,
he's a baby, but like how they would explain it to us, it would feel like the baby would come already as a kid. Like, it would already be kind of independent. But then you see the amount of word that a baby actually needs, and it's a really long process, but it's amazing.
Yeah, you
It's
get to, it's like training. When I was young,
exactly.
I had like little cousins. So I got like, it's like training how to take care of kids.
Yeah.
Do you want kids one day?
Yeah.
You going to give your dad grandkids?
Yeah. Yeah. Not for now, but
Yeah, well, please don't.
yeah, no.
Please take some time. There's nothing else. I mean, what are you excited about? What's most exciting to you right now? Favorite music?
Oof.
What do you listen to?
Mostly party music.
What?
Like Costa Rica, it's mostly reggaeton.
Reggaeton.
I love reggae also, actually.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But
Like roots reggae or like
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley.
There we
Of
go.
course. Everyone loves Bob.
Everyone loves Marley. Exactly.
There's no wrong answer here.
um
Yeah, what's exciting for you at this moment?
well,
Volleyball.
volleyball is something I really like. It's a great program for Sunday, and traveling around in Costa Rica too, surfing more.
Do you see yourself going competitive with volleyball?
Maybe.
I could see you doing it, bro. You got skills.
I don't know. I would need to practice a lot and get in a team, which right now it's not open. But
What do you mean?
like, there's not a team around. There's not a beach volleyball team, and
We could create one.
totally.
Come on, bro. I got your back. I can dig.
Let's do it.
I can dig. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like that's maybe this downside to living in a smaller community is like there's not as much opportunity in that way. But man, I think if you trained, you could get really freaking good. I mean, I've already seen you like, I'm like it grow and yeah. Why do you think kids from other countries, what do you think their experience is coming here to Costa Rica? Like, what do you think they love about Costa Rica, or what do you think they don't like?
Well,
Because you've experienced, like, there's a lot of,
yeah,
you've known a lot
totally.
of kids coming and going.
Well,
Few sitting around
there's
here.
a lot of programs that you can do with kids here, like going to the river with friends, doing hikes, walking around, doing hangouts, and community areas too. One of the things that's really helpful for some people is having the language that everybody speaks English here.
That's a common thing that, yeah,
That's
you're
a
right.
common thing.
It's like there's people speak Spanish and
Exactly.
but also people come from, Netherlands or from wherever, and the English is definitely the more common language. Yeah.
So having the base of being able to speak English here, it's a big help for them, and yeah, it's mostly like the type of life that you get around here.
Yeah, it's nature. That's one thing I love about
Yeah.
it here is like being in nature and there's so many great hikes and just seeing animals outside
Totally.
your house.
Yeah.
I always wonder, I'm like, man, like, because the world I grew up in, Noah, was so different. It was very like, we were in boxes all the time. We were like in houses with like TV. Like we were watching this world on TV, and like to be able to live it really is, it's hard to explain how much different it is, but it's like, you're like, it's weird to be like living through your brain, but not actually experiencing it. It's like, it's almost like living in a virtual reality.
Yeah.
Here we are, virtual reality.
Here we are.
Reality.
Exactly.
What is the rest of your day like here? What are you doing? You're supposed to be in class right now?
Well, I'm supposed to be in class, which I haven't finished my math work, so that's gonna be a problem right now. But the rest of the day is we have half an hour now of keep going with classes. Afterwards, we got lunch. Then we got free time from lunch finishes around 12:15.
What is it?
We got free time.
Okay.
Lunch finishes around 12:13.
What do you do during free time?
12:13, we have Ninja Warrior sometimes.
Just
and
go play.
Just hang around, exactly.
Yeah.
Then from 1 to 1:30, there's reading time that you grab any book of you're interested in, read for half an hour. And after, there is a program happening, which it can be music, it can be robotics, Ninja Warrior, what else? Oh, art also. There's a really good art teacher around. So yeah,
And it changes every day. Like,
It changes every day. Exactly. You have one different for every day of the week.
you don't get to choose. It's like, today you're doing
Exactly.
this.
No, you
Today
don't
you're
get to
doing this.
choose.
What do you think, like, why do you think there's a benefit to like this system of school? Because I know that there's a lot of like they give you a lot of free time, right?
Mhm.
They still want you to explore, like you said with Sula, they wanted you to explore your own skills and like get to know yourself. What do you think is like the benefit to this kind of program versus like traditional schooling? Have you talked, like, you've talked to kids in Green Valley? What's their,
Mhm.
like, do you see like a difference in like
Well, yeah, totally. They on their level, they're academically obviously way higher than in my level
academically how?
in
Like,
terms of what they learn in, I don't know.
knowing who the president was, when did the
Exactly.
president of
There we
this
go.
succeed this president, so they
But
know.
I think if we had to bring a subject of thinking out of the box, it it would be a big difference.
Right.
So
Which is that's the argument for
Exactly.
this kind of school. And what about like specific skills that you may have like acquired? Because you said you're like into architecture,
Uh-huh.
math. Is there anything like that comes
Well,
to
something
mind?
I really liked when I was in Sula that helped me a lot to develop many different um like materials in life, tools in life, was carpentry. I
Carpentry,
really liked carpentry and I would do everything over there.
starting
From
at such a young age.
Exactly. At 7 I built my ukulele, so I already had lots of experience which I loved and it was great. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Noah, thank you, man. We don't want to keep you from class too long. Get back to the school. Noah,
Thank you
thanks,
very
brother.
much.
It's been so good. Thank you, bro. This is La Vida Verde podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Human. We release episodes every Tuesday. I want to give a shout out to Monkey Medicine New Year's experience. Going to be happening this New Year's at the brand new Finca Vida Verde amphitheater. So please go online, fincavitaverde.com, to get your tickets now. Prices will go up soon. Want to say thank you to Guillaume Cellier, Massage Therapy. Amazing massage therapy. In fact, I'm going to get one this week from Guillaume. Mention this podcast, get 10% off your first massage. It's really, really highly recommended. Eco Teas Yerba Mate, thank you. Eco Teas, go to yerbamate.com and put in the code Vida Verde to get 20% off your purchase. And please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/La Vida Verde podcast. That's where we have all kinds of like extra material, background stuff, and like perks, and also really, really help support this podcast. Honestly, we need your support, so please go check it out. We release episodes every Tuesday. I mentioned that on YouTube. You can watch this filmed, or on Spotify. We also are on Apple Podcast. We're on Instagram at Finca Vida Verde CR. We're on Facebook, Finca Vida Verde, and fincavitaverde.com for everything else. We'll see you again next week. Thank you so much, Noah. Yeah. Appreciate it. And thank you to the Real World School.